Smooth had never really been what you'd call an athlete. Most days you'd find him on the couch, remote in one hand, snacks in the other, perfectly content watching other people do active things on TV. That was exercise enough, in his opinion. But one afternoon, flipping through channels, he landed on a curling match. And something about it just clicked. The strategy, the precision, the way those guys absolutely went to town with their brooms like their lives depended on it. Smooth sat up straight for the first time in months. He pointed at the screen. I could do that. So he got up off the couch, which, honestly, was already more exercise than he'd gotten all week. He found a local curling club and signed up the very next day. The first time he stepped onto the ice, he went down faster than you can say, hurry hard. Legs out, arms flailing, sliding the wrong direction entirely. But Smooth got back up, because that's what Smooth does. He started training every single day. Lunges to build up those legs, core work to keep himself stable in the hack, cardio so he could actually make it down the sheet without stopping to catch his breath. It was hard. His muscles ached in places he didn't even know had muscles. But every session, he got a little smoother, a little stronger, a little more like the athlete he didn't know he was. Word got around about this guy at the local club who had an absolutely ridiculous natural delivery. Something about the way he released the rock, pure, effortless, deadly accurate. Before long, he was competing regionally, then nationally. And then one morning, Smooth got a phone call that changed everything. Team Canada wanted him for the Olympics. He showed up to that Olympic ice with his red and white jacket and the kind of quiet confidence that only comes from actually putting in the work. The crowd was massive. The pressure was real. But Smooth had done the lunges. He'd done the planks. He'd swept that ice 10,000 times in practice. He was ready. The final came down to the last rock of the last end. One stone. Everything on the line. Smooth stepped into the hack, took a breath, and let it go. Clean. Smooth. Just like his name. The rock traveled the full length of the sheet in what felt like slow motion. It kissed the button. Dead center. Game over. Gold medal. Team Canada. Smooth. Standing on that podium, maple leaf on his chest, medal around his neck, he thought about the couch. He thought about all those days he told himself he wasn't an athlete. And he laughed, because the truth is, it was never about being born an athlete. It was about getting up, showing up, putting in the reps even when it hurt, and even when it was embarrassing, and even when you fell flat on the ice in front of a room full of strangers. Exercise isn't punishment. It's how you become the version of yourself that wins gold medals. Smooth knew that now, and he was never going back to that couch. Well, maybe just to watch the highlights.